So why do advocacy? What's the point? Well, as we get involved with this, we start to ask ourselves the question. I know that God works even in people's lives, even in churches when they're being persecuted. In fact, we see a history of God working through churches throughout all of church history and throughout pastors' lives when they're being persecuted. So we know the Lord uses persecution. At the same time, persecution of God's people, of Christians, of anyone for their religious background and their faith tradition is a great evil. And it's an evil in the sight of God. It's something that is not supposed to be happening in the world. It is an injustice that needs to be spoken out against. When we look at Romans 13 and the call of the nation state, what are nation states? What are leaders supposed to be doing? They're supposed to be rewarding what is good and punishing what is evil. And you can define good and evil in different ways depending on your background, but at a very baseline level, it is evil when someone is being persecuted for simply practicing their faith. And in the Bible, certainly it is evil when a Christian is being persecuted for his or her faith. And so it's the role of those who live in nation states around the world that are not being persecuted to then speak out on behalf of those who have no voice in their countries who are being persecuted. So when we look at a nation like China right now, when just by routine they are suppressing religion, they're targeting people of different faith traditions, it's the role of other governments to step up and say, hey, that's not how governments are supposed to function. And it's our role as Christians or those who are concerned about those who are being treated unjustly within those nation states to speak out to our leaders and say, hey, look, this is a great atrocity. This is a great injustice that's happening in the world, and we would like for you to do something about it. And here's what's going on. Give them information, give them a tangible ask, and say, would you please respond in kind, in some way, to what is happening? Would you please support our brothers and sisters around the world who are suffering? And that's why we do advocacy.